Good morning. It's me, Joe the Box, at the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land. Over here, my handsome, good-looking, identical twin brother, Johnny Boy. What's happening?
Oh, my God. This place is amazing, though. The America First Warehouse television. You guys got to come down and see it because you really want to experience what it is behind the scenes. This is actually professional as they get. What a great place to be. I love being here, the America First Warehouse. I love being on the podcast, too. So I'm going to let it roll. As it comes, I'll jump in when you need me.
Well, sounds like you've really prepared, Johnny Boy, for the show, that you like to really prepare yourself as it goes. But it really is very easy because all you got to do is, listen to KDJ on the radio before I get here. What's happening, KDJ?
So many good things, my friend. So much good news regarding Trump. We're going to win this, folks. I know sometimes it seems desperate and ugly. I've been telling people for years at the radio, here, PJ Media, wherever I go, comedy stages, we're going to win. I promise you. I say it on RAV every week. We're going to win, and I'm ready to chime in with some good news whenever you say.
Well, hold your horses on that good news because there's so many other great things happening. Unfortunately, today we don't have the great Lisa Azzarelli, who usually likes to set me up with the show notes. But I still love you, Lisa. I know that you're busy.
You gave it a day off?
No, she took it. You're going to see a lot of Lisa around here at the warehouse. I love her involved in some of the other shows that we're doing. Elevate, there's a show for women coming out here on Lifetime series that we're producing. Just some great things happening. So we did talk about what do we love about Donald Trump. What has he done today to make us happy and give us the continued feeling that we want him to happen. I do know that he was at a 54% approval rating earlier in his term, and he has slipped a little bit on his. And I don't know if that's necessarily the media continually slamming him. Toronto Drain syndrome is all over the place. I think it might even be a real thing. KDJ, you run into any TDS lately?
You know, Joe, I'm always going to run into it. I've been running into a little more because I've been wearing my ice cap.
Ah.
And if you think the MAGA hat sets off balloons, get yourself an ice cap, folks, because they hate it. So I wear it, and I wear it proudly. And I understand what you're saying. Some people are saying, well, his popularity has dipped a bit. That's because the news isn't telling them all the good he's done. He just took 2,000 illegal immigrant truckers off of the highways. All right? Sadly, 4 Amish men were killed when some guy from Stan, it's one of the stands, I don't know which stand it is, and he killed some Amish guys. And that's not the first, it's not the third, it's not the fifth, it's worse, but unfortunately, it takes time to change. But 2,000, that means, number one, a lot of trucking jobs, boys, if you're looking to make some money. Number two, fewer animals who have to go to Google phone when they have to be like, Google respond, translate, what mean STOP? Boom, too late. And now people are dead. So this is great news. And no one's going to know about it except for the people who weren't killed.
Johnny, you're a trucker. Are you going to get an increase for driving your truck?
Well, more jobs for the American people, more homes for the American people when these illegals are being pushed out, I like to be positive like Kevin and say that it's going to be a win for us here in our midterms. That's what worries me a little bit because, we only hear bad stuff, Trump's popularity at 54%, that blows my mind, but it is a half of our country. Because if it was on the right side, it would be 100% that support Donald Trump and the America First. So whatever we have to do to win these midterms is what's important. I know he's going out and going to do some rallies like as if he was running the race himself. So I'm sure that's going to be a lot of good things, too. But if we can't get the voting down to ID and the SAVE Act gets passed, I mean, that's an important thing. I thought I heard that they're going to filibuster for it because really it's like, why are we wasting our time? It's like nobody's been arrested and we're going to let the illegals keep voting.
And you know what, John? Did you check this? Even Democrats, 71% of Democrats want voter ID. So what's going to happen is they'll sneak it through. Then they're going to say, look at all these Democrats who did not vote for it. And the 71% of the Democrats who want it, those are the ones who need to wake up and realize we got real communists here.
Well, here's their logic, okay? I heard them say it many times. So they go, if you're a woman which they don't even know what a woman is. If you're a woman and you're going to vote and you don't have your birth certificate available for you, who walks around with a birth certificate? You use your birth certificate and you use your utility bills and your other picture IDs to get a license. Everybody in the country has ID on them. Everybody. If you don't have ID, you're not really concerned about voting, I wouldn't imagine. Or you're not really concerned about traveling. Or you're not really concerned about getting wasted on liquor. You know, but maybe you are. Maybe you'd rather just get wasted and lay on the street or someplace, wherever these people are going. We have to protect the American citizen. What I understand, with 20 million legal immigrants came in under Joe Biden. And if you, next time you take a picture of KDJ, over KDJ's right shoulder is a piece of artwork that was created by Scott Lebedo, the maniac artist from Staten Island, Long Island. It is the only portrait of Joe Biden that we have in here. It is the empty suit. He captured it beautifully. You can't really see it there. It was lit up earlier. But, you know, the point is that the country was run by illegal people, letting illegal people come in and try and take away the power and sovereignty of the American citizen. And it really bothers me to no end.
Now, Joe, I got to call you a racist. I got to call you a racist because I said the same thing. And someone said to me, "You're a racist because black people can't get an ID the way a white man can." And then I felt humbled, and I gave them my car because I felt very guilty. I had white guilt. But that's what they're saying. The black people, they can't get a license as easily as the white people. And the reasons they say are so insanely racist. They don't know where to go. They can't get online, and all this nonsense. And it's a lie. Ami Horowitz did a tape where he asked these white people, "Is voter ID racist?" "Oh, yeah, it's totally racist. Black people don't know where to get one." And they went to Harlem. Said, "Do you have ID?" "Of course I got ID." "Well, look at these white people." He shows them video. Said, "No, that's racist, or that's ignorant, or that's stupid." So
right now it's sitting in Congress to pass this SAVE Act.
Yeah.
That's what we're waiting for. I think it's going to be voted on any day. And any 70%, whoever the Democrats say that they're for it, why doesn't it pass that it's got to go to this filibuster to change the vote count from 60 down to 50?
Yeah.
Is that
I
a
know the
question?
answer.
Well, I know the answer too, but Kevin is just so excited. We got to get to him right away, Kevin. What's steaming your clams on that answer?
Thank you. I'll tell you, Joe. Here's what's going on. We should have this, and anyone standing in front of voter ID is a filthy communist. No real American should be against it. And I want to see this situation. Now, do you guys, do they take an oath to the Constitution when they get in office? I think they do, right?
And I think
You
they
have
swear on the Koran.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Only
see,
in
that
New York.
shows everything. When you swear it on the Koran, that means, well, I'll honor the Constitution, but I'm going to chase little kids. That's what that means.
Yeah.
But anyone standing in the way of voter ID is a filthy apparatchik, and we need to get rid of them.
Well, the stupidity about their reasoning is just what really blows my mind. And I did see some of the interviews online where they went around into the community, whether it was Harlem or up in New York City, and the black communities there. And everybody, sure, we carry ID. Of
Yep.
course we do. Yeah, that's the American way. They speak the American language. They speak English. And there is no voter suppression. It's just voter cheating.
Yep.
Cheating, yep.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't have that picture of the great Mayor Rudy Giuliani, but I got his mug shot, and I also got John Eastman's mug shot, another great constitutional attorney. These people, their
They were
whole world,
arrested.
yeah, the whole world was
Unbelievable.
turned upside down because they believed in something that was righteous, and the truth is coming out. You know, Fulton County had 200 some odd thousand illegal ballots that weren't folded and put into a, you know, so they weren't mailed,
And
but they're using them.
Did you hear the update?
Please do. To update us. Breaking news from KDJ.
Breaking news. Hello, it's Kevin Downey Jr. here, the very serious news correspondent with breaking news. They just found out that boxes of ballots are missing. And wouldn't you know it, someone tipped them off that the FBI was coming, so they had time. And now the FBI and the DOJ saying, we're missing boxes. Where are they? We want to know now. And they're all going, I don't know.
With the evidence from J6 probably in
Yep.
the same closet somewhere.
Exactly. The exact
Burn bags.
Yep, the exact same group of ballots. We're already missing boxes.
And what's going to come of that? So the election was fraud and they cheated and lied. Nobody's going to jail. It doesn't matter. You can't change the past. Where do we go from here? You know, clean up the voting. Clean up the voting.
Yeah, I would
rolls.
imagine that if they don't do this, there's going to be anarchy.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that I really feel comfortable about giving them my money anymore. after watching each state steal billions of dollars. So much fraud in the country right now. So much fraud that would eliminate our debt. Did you know that, Kevin and
It's not
John?
only
Yeah.
in Minnesota. I mean, there's fraud other places. So I know that's going to come out. I mean, it's the blue toilet cities again.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump, he's brilliant, you know. So, okay, we took the guys away from it, and they're going to wind up not getting their funds because if they need funds, they got to go to the government to ask for it.
Can I ask you guys something? Your dad was a Marine, right?
Yes, he was.
Do you think he fought for this nation so that Democrats could steal the vote from his family further on the generations? I bet he didn't.
Well, I can tell you this. We got a minute left, and my father was the most patriotic Marine you ever seen. He loved the country, waved the flag, stood at when the Star-Spangled Banner went on, and he did tell me that he outranked General Flynn, John. Do you remember him saying that?
Yeah, the chief was a high-ranking officer with the Marine Corps. Go
Well, I
ahead.
told Flynn, I told General Flynn, I said, GF, my man. I said, my father outranks you. And you know what he said? Private first-class Marine. I was like, this guy is so brilliant. How did he know that?
Because anybody that spent 6 years in the Marine is only a private first class. Those guys are bad.
How all Marines outrank the Army. I think that he was trying to say. Listen, we got a great segment coming up with Pastor Devin O'Neill. If you remember, Pastor was here for the Stay Awake tour. He's in the waiting room. I see him over there looking handsome. He's bringing truth and freedom and school choice to us here in America, anywhere. Can you imagine it? Plus all over the world, I understand. We'll see Devin on the back.
Have you noticed your money just doesn't stretch like it used to? Your paycheck feels lighter, and your savings aren't growing. The culprits? Inflation and increased money supply. They've both been quietly eating away at your purchasing power for years. Today, the dollar's value has dropped significantly. You feel it every time you spend money on goods and services. Back in 1965, $1 or an ounce of silver could buy you a gallon of milk. Fast forward to today. That same dollar barely buys a couple of coffee creamers, while an ounce of silver would get you 8 gallons of milk. Gold and silver have held their value for centuries. If you had 2,500 ounces of silver back in 1965, you could buy a brand new Ford Mustang. Today, 2,500 ounces of silver would buy you 2 Mustangs. Similarly, in the year 2000, 628 ounces of gold would buy a new $170,000 home. Today, 628 ounces would buy you a $2,500,000 home. The problem? 95% of Americans don't own physical gold or silver. They think it's too complicated and too expensive, but it doesn't have to be. We offer a membership program that allows you to buy gold or silver with as little as $1. You can buy fractional amounts, safely vault them, or have them delivered to your doorstep, and you can liquidate them whenever you want at the highest buyback price in the industry. Ready to protect your wealth and keep your purchasing power? Scan the QR code or go to tafw.soundmoney.com to learn more.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won. It's not about what party. It's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
It's me, Joe the Box. And I'm John the Blanket with the America First Podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino Podcast.
I'm James Justice. We got Stephen Ruth over here. What are we doing, Steve? Fighting!
Welcome to the Patriots Podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First Warehouse.
Welcome to Liberty's Cage, the podcast tearing down the walls of America's broken justice system.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. Podcast. Be free, stay free.
It's me, Joe the Boxer, America First, where's most patriotic venue in all the land. Timing and time is very important to us. I want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ for every minute that he gives us and the people that he brings around. Our next guest is Pastor Devin O'Neill. And Devin, come on in on the TV. There he is, my man. How are you? Thank you so much for coming back to the America First Warehouse. Devin, you were with us at the Stay Awake tour, and you had an opportunity to speak to a lot of people and give your message and your purpose in life and where God is taking you. Can you share that with us today?
Yeah, so we're doing some things in the nation to reclaim the foundation of the nation. Most people don't realize tyranny first starts in the mind of man. If you look in the Jefferson Memorial, the inscription in the top of it says, "We pledge on the altar of God eternal hostility towards every form of tyranny against the mind of man." So most people don't realize that our founders, they actually fled a public school system that had been infiltrated both by religion and government and perverted and weaponized to actually be a mechanism of tyranny. And so I believe that curriculum in America is probably the most dangerous thing in America. Abraham Lincoln said this incredible statement. He said, "The philosophy in the classroom in one generation will become the philosophy in the government in the next." Hitler said, "Give me the textbooks and I'll take the state." Nelson Mandela said, "Education is the most powerful weapon by which you can change the world." And so our nation, the reason it's great is our nation was actually based on the Word of God. Schools first started in churches. They used the Holy Bible to teach men to read because they knew that the Bible set men free. This is why over 130 colleges in America were seminaries. Even Harvard, its motto used to be, "Christ must be laid at the bottom of all sound learning." So the Bible tells us that when we put the Word of God into practice in our life, that it actually brings a blessing on a nation. And then when we steer away from these principles, the curse of sin will come upon it. So our nation became great because it was actually the only nation that was based on a creed that had its roots in the Word of God. That's why the Declaration of Independence says we were given these rights by God, and the Constitution and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights were both things that were created to limit government. So I believe that the curriculum is the most dangerous thing in the United States of America, because to be able to enact tyranny, you first have to be able to get it rooted in the minds of the people. And that's what's happening. That's why you've got these different mindsets. You think, Trump said it. I was at the National Prayer Breakfast in D.C., and he said, I don't see how you can be a person of faith and be a Democrat. You can't. So they don't have a biblical foundation, and it's really common sense. Look, you're not supposed to kill babies, Don't kill babies. Don't kill other people. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal,
Don't eat the babies, my brother just said, too. Don't eat them.
Look, I couldn't even go there.
Pastor Devin, don't go there. He understands it. The devil is all over.
Right, man.
But I just want to say you're absolutely right about this, because just the other day there was a ICE walkout at one of the elementary schools here on Long Island. What the teachers have did is organize the children to do a walkout to protest ICE. Now, that's not a curriculum. If my kid was in there, I'd rip them out. This is why it's so important, Pastor Devin. What can we do to spread this word of the gospel? And what can we do to stop these people that are running our education and get them on the right track?
Well, school choice is the number one thing that needs to happen. You give the American people the choice, they'll choose what's best. Classical Christian education has scored the best on the SATs and ACT scores for over 3 decades. If you give the people a choice, they'll choose what's best. We're using these schools to actually change inner city areas. We're using these schools to actually stop murders. So we teach the kids how to love and pray and pray for the healing of their peers instead of killing their peers. And you think about, you want to stop murders, you need to start doing that. So that's what we do. We go across the whole nation to do it. Currently in our city, we're seeing a transformational movement that, like, the top drug dealers, like 4 different major drug dealers, have come to the Lord these guys, they want good things for their kids actually, and they're actually fighting for us to put Christian schools in the highest crime areas of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Also, empowering them to become entrepreneurs instead of just having social welfare and just giving handouts, which cripples people and keeps poverty there. Look, empower people to start businesses. So all these things are coming to play. We'll help anybody in the nation if you want to do something about it. You know, my website's voicesofmercy.com. You can reach out to me at 225 yes 1234. It's a 937-1234 225 area code. And God gave me that number because this is what God's saying through my phone number. God is just looking for your yes. We have to say yes to God and actually do something. We've got all the tools. We'll help you. But each and every one of us has to begin to do these things in our own areas. And at a grassroots level, if we begin to course correct and bring our nation back in alignment to the original intent, look, our founding fathers gave no authority to the government to teach school, because they left that system and they knew if you did that, government will inevitably teach your children for their own benefit. Look, Joe, this is most people don't understand how alarming this is, but the lady that formed UNESCO, the United Nations Education, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, their main goal is to change the attitudes, values, and behaviors of your children. Her first publishing company was the Lucifer Publishing Company. This is satanic. The curriculum, you're sending your kids to a curriculum that was orchestrated by Satan. And we can get more in depth in that and show you that that publishing company became the Lucis Trust, which is currently the publication company for the United Nations. Her spiritual son, Robert Mueller, wrote the World Core Curriculum. Why? To get your kids to agree with the coming Antichrist. See, the Antichrist can't come on the scene unless there's enough agreement with him. The Common Core curriculum was the offshoot of the World Core curriculum, aligned with globalism, which the Bible says will be the Antichrist. And at the end of the day, if I just put it in the modern, everybody, normal man's vernacular, what you're talking about is communism. The Antichrist will oppress people through communism. That is what the Bible says. So whether you believe in the Bible or not, it's actually communism. This is being done in real time. If you want to know what the public school system is, it is actually the fulfillment of one of the tenets of the Communist Manifesto. Karl Marx said, the family should be abolished and all children should be raised by a central authority. That is literally what's happening with the public school system. I believe the solution is give them school choice and then let people choose. And then the church needs to rise up and start teaching schools. We teach schools that are spirit-led. We actually have documentaries of revival breaking out in the school with little kids. An 11-year-old is narrating the documentary.
I saw it. I'm so blown away by everything that you've done. I guess one of the things that comes to my thought process is for school choice here in New York, there's no such thing, but you can still send. I sent my son to St. John's, high school, a private Catholic school versus the public school, but I still had to pay the $13,000 in school taxes along with the $8,000 that it cost to send them there to that class. But to me and my wife, we really wanted him to grasp the power of the Spirit, and that's why we went with that way. And we knew it was going to cost us. So, your idea of this homeschooling, can we eliminate that expense? Or is that something that's in the works? Or school choice would be great if I could take the money that I was spending on the week school and put it to the school I want.
Well, I think if you start informing the people, one of the things that we're doing too, Joe, is that we're able to transform these inner city areas. And what people don't realize, like the Democratic Socialists of America are going in the inner city saying how socialism is going to, help the people, but it's not. It's going to keep them crippled. It's going to keep them in poverty. And actually, they're stewards of the ward. Like the people that are giving them the money are actually in charge. And so it won't lift them out of that. So if you start, like our blueprint, we have something called the Kingdom Project, where we got a blueprint to actually stop murders, to transform the inner city, to reduce crime. And if you start doing stuff like that, people are gonna start listening to you because they don't know how to do that. And then you begin to educate people. There's a book I have here. It's from an organization called CURE in DC, a phenomenal organization. It says the state of black progress. It says confronting governmental and judicial obstacles. And the wisdom that's in this book is just unbelievable. The Secretary of HUD right now, he has the right mindset. we have an opportunity right now to shift things. And what has to happen is as we begin to educate people, we begin to show these solutions, then we get conversations with lawmakers and say, hey, look, guys, if we really want to help people, we got to change some of these laws. We got to start using these opportunity zones to empower the people in the neighborhood instead of bringing foreign people in that don't have any investment in the neighborhood, and actually begin to help people and restore America back to its original foundation. And it's in the Pledge of Allegiance: justice, liberty, and justice for all. That's the creed of America. That's why everybody wants to come here. And at the end of the day, guys, that's a biblical truth. In James, it says, the man who looks intently into the perfect law that gives liberty, that's what we're talking about. See, the two characteristics that have become descriptive of the American character is the love of the law and the love of liberty. See, God's not into lawlessness. Lawlessness will breed just curse and destruction. And that's what we're experiencing. And people don't understand it because they have no biblical worldview. And so if you begin to talk to people, lawmakers with, solutions, you can get school choice changed. And so that you need to get in some conversations with your lawmakers. We can help you with that. This one book, I would say buy every single person in your legislature this book, The State of Black Progress. And it's Star Parker. She's the founder of CURE. Phenomenal organization. They're capitalist, they're conservative, and it goes into great detail. And so people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Pastor,
we got 20 seconds left, and I hate to give you the hard cut because I love you so much, and there's so much I want to ask you again. But just tell everybody how they can help, where they have to go to help your mission, and that is to bring God back to the nation and especially the inner schools.
Yeah, you can go to voicesofmercy.com. Call me personally at 225-937-1234, and I will help you get plugged, and I'll give you the tools to be able to help in our area or in your area.
God bless you, Devin.
You've worked hard and saved, but inflation and increased money supply are eroding your buying power. Protect and grow your wealth with physical gold and silver. Sound Money. With a Sound Money wallet, your wealth stays in your control. Buy fractionally, vault securely, ship directly, and instantly liquidate your gold and silver at the highest buyback price in the industry. Real money, real ownership. Visit tafwsoundmoney.info or scan the QR code and start securing your financial future today.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
At the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
Corporate transfer. Fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country. Boom! It's me, Joe the Box, and we're back here at the America First Warehouse, the greatest place on the planet, right, Johnny?
But yeah, best place. I mean,
But
in
yeah.
the galaxy.
In the galaxy.
We'd like to tell my mom that we worked on Kevin's hair this morning, Mom, and I'm sure that you really like the way it is right now because she really likes. Her niece has a beautiful hairdressing place right down the block.
Well, this place does have everything, so maybe we should have a powder place where somebody fixes our hair so it looks a little bit nicer.
Yeah, we can do
there you
that. Listen, let's get back on to the fact that the Democrats, the only way for them to win is to cheat, and for them to try and come up with a baloney excuse on the SAVE Act, and that it's a birth certificate or a woman gets married. I mean, my two sons got married, and their wives wanted to take their last name, so they went down and got their licenses changed, to reflect the last name, and now she'll be ready to vote. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. They make it pretty easy for you to get ID. So, Kevin, do you ever get asked for ID when you go into clubs at night?
Yes, I do. There are certain times I'll be asked for ID. If I wanted to check a book out of the library, they're going to ask for my ID. If I want to get on an airplane, and there are clubs, maybe some people call them gentlemen clubs. They actually scan your license now, or so I've been told. That way they know who's there in case there's trouble. There's almost nothing you can do without showing ID, except vote in the only free nation in the world, or at least one of the few. Yeah, but that's what makes us different from other countries. Most other countries, you got to show ID, and countries not even as good as ours. But they know you have to be a citizen to vote.
Yeah, this is one of the things that roasts my chestnuts more than anything is that we're all in this situation because where it started from them cheating on the elections, getting the diverse people that are our government officials, local, boiled to the schools that we were talking about, their education, and it just evolved into it. It's all from the cheating. That's how we get these people in here.
Well,
That's how
not
they've
only
been
did
getting
they
these
cheat,
people.
but I'm going to give you an example because I ran for committee seat on Smithtown, Long Island, New York, and I went around. I was required to get like 38 signatures or whatever it was. I got a bunch of signatures over that amount. I went around and I talked to anybody that had an American flag outside of their house. But what I found out is that in Suffolk County, for example, Long Island, New York, there's like 1,300, 1,400 empty committee seats. I know a lot of them in Islip, none, and Smithtown is a lot. These are committeemen. These are people that are supposed to represent each area designation of their neighbors. And I got to know a lot of them. And here's the problem. Neither the Democratic Party or the Republican Party is really helping our situation. And when we get into the fourth segment here with Molly Hornak, you'll see she's going to bring some facts on. And I'm going to tell you some facts, too. There are congressmen in here that under the America First Institute, okay? It's an organization that pushes the America First. And I'm going to tell you the rating scores on the 1, 2, 3, 4 districts that are here on Long Island or close to Long Island. Number one district is Ray LaLoda. I call him Ray because I think he's an actor more than a politician. Votes 55% for the America First movement. 55%. That's an F in my book. Next is Andrew Garbarino. 53%. He fell asleep during a vote one time. We all got him on camera, and he voted to impeach Trump. These are great representatives of exactly how the America First movement feels. Let's go down the road. Swazi, who took the 100% vote from, what was his name over there? Santos, my friend George Santos. Santos voted 100% for America First every time. Well, Swazi's got like a 32%. He's a Democrat. He gets an F-. Then you got this other guy, Lawler. The same thing. He's got a big mouth. He's in front of everybody. He don't come down to the America First warehouse. No, it's not in my jurisdiction. Or whatever excuses they have. We, the people, are done with it. Don't you agree, Johnny?
Yeah, just parties. There's two parties, Democratic, Republican. Both of them do disgust me as well. And I'm all for anybody that is of 100% America First in all their decisions, and keeping us safe and what we need. It's not for the party anymore because I think they're all bored out,
William, can you put up that one? It's a 2-minute video or a minute video I have of a gentleman named Fish or something like that. And he's running for governor, I think, of Florida. And boy, he really lays it out to them. If you have that one, let it roll.
When you do win that primary in August, do you believe that the GOP establishment might try to sabotage your campaign?
Yeah, they absolutely will. I absolutely are going to sabotage the campaign. It's okay.
Okay.
The GOP establishment's a bunch of freaking losers as far as I'm concerned. I don't want anything to do with them. I don't want their money. I don't want their endorsements. They've destroyed this country time and again. And at the end of the day, what needs to happen is the Republican Party may need to just be burned down and started over again. This is not the party of Lincoln. This is not the party that has put this country on the map. It's betrayal. This party is absolute betrayal. And so my view is very simple. The Republicans suck. The Democrats suck. America First is the only way forward. And the natural home for that is to burn down the Republican Party and start something new. The new Republican Party,
Absolutely.
but it will exist within that two-party system.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of
The new Republican.
I saw that. I don't
Wow.
know if it was real or not, because when I first started listening to the guys bashing the GOP, and I'm like, why is this on my feed? I only like good stuff. This is what I'm interested in. And then after finishing the whole thing, he ended off with America First.
Yeah.
Pretty good, huh?
I like this guy already.
Governor.
He's got a lot of stuff. I started following him. His name is Fish. He's not getting any support from anybody but the America First candidates, and that's really all I care about. So if you are running for office like Greg Hack in District 3, who is not endorsed by the GOP, but has his own money, was a Marine, he has his own business, he understands profits and losses, and he's a great man to run for it. So let's give him a chance. He'll be here at the warehouse many times. We'd love to set up a town hall, and I think that we're going to get that.
Live on TV.
We're going to get that from Teresa. Teresa, you in Section 6 there?
I'm here.
All right, guess what?
Hi,
You're going to
team.
tell us what's happening with the America First Warehouse. And if you'd like to talk about District 3, you're always welcome to.
Well, it is my district, and Greg Hack is a good friend of mine, so I am rooting for him and helping him with his campaign. So I encourage everybody to check him out at greghack.com. And good morning to all the Patriots here. Thank you for tuning in. We are going to show you a little clip from this weekend. We had the most awesome concert here. It was American Ride, the Toby Keith cover band. We had a packed out house. It might have been freezing outside, but it was warm in here. And Control Room, if you can show the audience.
That's right!
It was super cool that they ended with a very huge patriotic ending. Everyone was having a great time. Country line dancers right there. It was really amazing, and we look forward to having them back again. So please stay tuned for that. We love you guys at American Ride. So to find that and all of our content, you can download our app. That's Asset One, guys. You guys can go to afshows.com or scan the QR code. And that's the best way to support us right now and stay up to date with all the stuff we got going on here at the warehouse. And our show lineup, our new show lineup that rolled out last week, if we can show that to the audience, the schedule for the podcast. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we have great shows. We have 2 brand new shows, and we want to still welcome the Midnight from his new show on Tuesdays and Bonnie and Team on Wednesday nights. So please check out our new shows. Also, on Thursday nights at the America First Warehouse, we have our Bible study. It's growing. It's beautiful. Please check that out. And immediately following Bible study, we have Christ to Conquer the Nations with Pastor Crystal. So please come down for our faithful Thursday nights. Friday nights, we have the fellas live from Studio 6B. It's a Real America's Voice production that's live from the America First Warehouse every Friday night. So you can scan that QR code or check it out on our app or website. And it's always a good time. And if you want, you could probably get on air when they do their interviews. So join us on a Friday. Coming up on March 1st, we have the Lincoln Dinner with our good friends at the Queens Village Republican Club. Joe the Box is the MC. That's like his new title lately. He's becoming the MC at these events. It's definitely awesome to have him be a part of it. Last year he was the honoree, so please consider coming to that event. It'll be amazing. And we are bringing back to you the Not So Newlywed Game. This is our 3rd edition of it. We need some couples as contestants. It's a lot of fun. Host Fred Rubino, the comedian, will be the one hosting it. So either come down and enjoy a great show or be a part of it, and we would love that. After this Newlywed Game, the winners of the last 3 will do a championship round, so check that out. That's all right. You can bring that up, guys. That's our concert coming in May. It's a little out, but we want to let you guys know about it. It's our good friend Joe Cumia. He has a bunch of different bands, and this one is Guitar Legends. So this should be an awesome concert. Mark your calendars for that, please. Our item of the month is honey tallow or tallow honey gold. Good friend of ours, Bobby. It's all natural. I use it every day. It's amazing. And if you guys can cut to the next clip, that is their Valentine's Day edition, Rose Remedy. So they're great affiliates of ours. We encourage you to check them out. And speaking of affiliates, we're going to end with our Sound Money wallet. Please check that out. Our Patriot Travel affiliate and our MyPillow affiliate. So that concludes
Hey,
my
Teresa,
portion here.
my friend KDJ has a question for you.
Sure.
Hey, Teresa. So I got a text message from a listener. They want to know if there's any more country bands coming. Because I think they love country music. I think everyone does, I hope. But is there any country music coming
Well,
our
I'm a
way
moderate country music fan, but the Toby Keith band was actually awesome. As for country, I'm sure the Toby Keith cover band will come back. We are exploring. We get emails all the time now from local musicians and bands around Long Island, so I've been in touch with many of them, and if that's what the audience is asking for, then that's what we'll try to do.
I got to tell you,
They
it
had
was
a
one of
choice, though, in the Super Bowl, the country music or whatever that other stuff was. I heard for a second. Oh, my God, it blew my mind.
Right?
What the guy was doing at the halftime over there.
Yeah, I just heard today that the end of Bad Bunny's
Career?
career, that he was
Career,
doing
wasn't
some kind of weird thing about like migrants coming in a caravan as part of his, show, halftime show. I didn't tune in
It
for
was
that.
such a
Really
joke.
weird,
It
man.
was such a joke because I saw it on the internet. I wouldn't watch it. My kids were watching the Super Bowl. We were all watching it together. It was very nice. The game was boring as anything, but the food was great and the family was great. But halftime came. I wanted to put on the American First show, and everybody said, "No, Dad, we're just curious to see what Bad Bunny has to do." So I went upstairs into my room, and my wife and I, we held hands and we cried when Kid Rock asked for a second chance from our Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Open up your Bible, dust it off and read it, to have a second chance in life.
Incredible,
Kid
bro.
Rock did it.
Incredible.
America's coming back with a second chance as well. God bless America.
Sure it is. We'll be right back.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW, making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single, Justice for All, with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round two. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see. A symbol of unity. For the
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, back here for the final segment. And we brought in somebody very powerful, very strong woman that's on the front line, sacrificing time with her family to be a part of this movement of protecting the vote. A big history. I've been following Molly Hornick for many years. I see her on all of the big stations talking and bringing the facts that the more votes than voter registration, than voters, more votes were put into New York, and all kinds of crazy, crazy stuff. We only like the truth, and this is Molly Hornick. Can you please tell us what's on the front line? What can we expect? And what else are you doing to save our country?
Well, it's great to be with you again, Joe. Thank you so much. Our lawsuit in New York State is proceeding. That's the lawsuit, New York Citizens Audit versus Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a number of serious constitutional violations, including free speech, right to petition, due process, shocks the conscience due process. And also, ultimately, we claim that the state has abandoned the practice of qualifying voters before registering them to vote and offering them ballots and counting their votes. And when they have rejected that principle, that fundamental principle, what they did was they actually have abandoned what was a condition of ratification of the United States Constitution. It says the people will choose the representatives in Congress and the state will determine by statute who is qualified to vote. And so our lawsuit shows that they have abandoned this. Interesting, Joe, is that the attorney representing now the Attorney General's office and the State Board of Elections, in his motion to dismiss submitted to the court, he actually, the last two words of his motion to dismiss, get this, were ignore them. Right. So you and I, we paid for that guy to say that. We paid for him to tell a federal judge, just ignore them. And this is really, I think, what is striking at the heart of New Yorkers' absolute frustration with one-party rule is that we are in a circumstance where the government is so entrenched in one party and so entrenched in one philosophy that they don't care anymore about the citizens. They're only about, funding the illegal immigrants in hotels in New York City through the Adams administration. They're only about making sure that illegal immigrant children don't have to get vaccinated before they go to school, while American children do. There's so much hypocrisy in the system. And, Mamdani now, he wants to nobody pays rent except for, of course, Americans pay rent, because otherwise, how would the system continue? How can you have no economy? So that's really what's going on with our case. And I just think it's so important that New Yorkers understand that not only is this case going to get to discovery, because it's not an election lawsuit, it's a First Amendment lawsuit, first and foremost, and a constitutional lawsuit. But when it gets to discovery, and this isn't why we filed the lawsuit, and we're not here to campaign for Blakeman or any other candidate, but it just so happens that once we hit discovery, Blakeman and all of the Republican candidates statewide get +3 percentage points, according to all our political analysis. If we get an injunction, Joe, they get a +8. We could be the catalyst to end one-party rule in New York State and return governance to the people.
The power of our Lord Jesus Christ. Continue with your work with Molly Hornick and bring out the truth. I will tell you, Molly, I watched the news the other day, and this is their plan all along. Mayor Kami Mandami there, his comment was that every single person living in New York is a citizen of New York. Every single person. So he really doesn't care about your citizenship at all. And it's really disgraceful. I pray that this happens, because I don't think they will ever win another election again if the United States citizens vote. Kev, you got a question for Molly? I know it's been biting at you.
I do. Thank you. Hey, Molly, I was just curious about the elections. How many states now do we know, how many are allowing illegals to vote? We know that Minnesota is. They gave them driver's licenses, which they turned around and they went to register to vote. Now everyone with a driver's license in Minnesota, including the illegals, can vote. I got to believe California's in on this, and probably Illinois. Is there anything that you can tell us about this?
I can tell you a couple things about it. When we get the voter rolls and we run these extensive audits, these deep audits, we don't get to see the Social Security numbers. In fact, today in Michigan, a federal judge said once again that not even the Department of Justice of the United States of America is allowed to see the Social Security numbers in voter lists, which is totally inane. They issued those Social Security numbers, the federal government. So it doesn't make any sense. What I do know, for example, is in California in the 2024 election, over 2 million voters whose registration dates were backdated had their votes counted. Over 2 million more voters who registered to vote after they voted had their votes counted. So those are 4 million facially invalid votes that were counted equally to California citizens' votes. Are some of those probably legitimate? Yes, but the problem is no one knows how many of them and no one knows which ones. But the state of California and the Secretary of State there, Shirley Weber, counted them anyway, certified the election, and sent 52 House representative members to Congress, which is terrifying. That's 1/12 of Congress. We have the same problem in New York, which is a part of the core of our original complaints against the Board of Elections that led to this lawsuit, led to their retaliatory actions statewide, including investigating New York citizens' audit under the Ku Klux Klan Act, because we exposed that in Letitia James's election, while she won by a 9% margin, 12% of the vote across the entire state violated the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The registration records weren't valid. Again, maybe they're real voters, but the Board of Elections doesn't bother to maintain records that comply with federal law or state law. So, whether non-citizens are voting, I would say my suspicion is they're voting a lot. But when we look at the voter rolls, we don't get to know. We can't tell as outside government auditors whether or not actual non-citizens are registered and voting. But we do see reports of that over and over again. And I think House Member Comer is now investigating Michigan for this exact problem.
Detroit, Michigan, hometown to KDJ. Hey, Johnny boy, I know that you think it's important that voter ID should be presented at the time when you come in to vote.
100%, and I'm glad we have action being done. You had mentioned that there's some case of discovery that's coming up to courts that could be involved in making a decision to change this, and will it get before midterms? Will we have answers on that?
Absolutely. And what we've functionally asked for in our lawsuit, the relief that we're really seeking against the New York State Board of Elections and the Attorney General, is that we have transparency in our elections. When the way that the founders set up the United States government in particular was that there was supposed to be an unbroken link, an unbroken tie between citizens and the members of Congress who represent them. But when the counting process itself and the voter registration process itself are obscured, when they're purposefully hidden, and the officials who administer those processes and protect those documents refuse to show them to the American people, basically what we're looking at is a break between citizens and Congress. And, let's face it, we all feel it. Why are we looking at another possible shutdown? Because the Democrats don't want to fund law enforcement. They want to keep illegal alien criminals on the streets side by side with you, law-abiding American citizens. And they're willing to shut down the airports. They're willing to shut down emergency services to do it. So this is crazy. And this is exactly what we are demanding in our lawsuit, is that we see the whole process. They can't hide anything at the Board of Elections anymore. And actually, we're demanding that an external agency that is bonded and certified and qualified to do deep audits the entire process, has complete unfettered access to all of the Board of Elections records from registration through certification. So we can find out, first of all, is the system broken? Is there some part of it that's just not functioning? And second of all, if there is fraud, then it needs to be prosecuted. So we're looking at total transparency, granted potentially by a federal judge in New York State, because it is a constitutional violation to administer elections any other way.
It's what a crazy time to be alive. We have about a minute and a half left, and I have a question for you, Marley. I saw that they totally destroyed Rudy Giuliani in Fulton County, Georgia, and John Eastman and Sidney Powell and 25 or 30 other people that would swear to their life that Fulton County was an illegal election. Has they gone after you the way they've gone after Rudy and them? And how do you protect yourself?
Well, luckily, there's nothing really that they can take away from me. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a wealthy person. There's really nothing to be gained in harassing me, actually, at all. So, other than the fact that the Attorney General opened this, broad, like basically unlimited pretextual investigation into me and New York Citizens Audit under the Ku Klux Klan Act. So she's just, they've attempted to humiliate me and to discredit me and defame me and all of the many, many volunteers with New York Citizens Audit. But no, they haven't gone after me personally. I hope they don't. And if they do, they won't find that there's very much to take. That's for sure. What I do want to say is that
30 seconds. Go ahead. Tell us.
RealAmerica.vote, we are totally committed to helping all over the country and defend elections on a constitutional basis for all American citizens. And we do it fearlessly. We've helped in the defense of Tina Peters. We filed amicus briefs in many of the DOJ cases asking for the unredacted voter rolls, and we also are pursuing, obviously, our litigation against New York State.
How do we find you, Molly? We need you. We need how to find you and how to send money to you. Give us your website.
Okay, realamerica.vote is where you can read our drafts, our litigation. You can donate, which we really need and appreciate, and also Real America Vote on X.
God bless you, Molly Hornick. Keep up the good work. We love you here at the warehouse. Thanks, guys, for holding it over.
Joe. Thanks so much, guys.
A beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free in the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be. The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free.